Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are in the world. Welcome to the New Year's edition of FPL. Don't panic. I am so hungover. Oh, it's a big one. It was a big one. I wasn't going to do anything today. I was going to wait for the Arsenal Brentford match to play out to do to do an update and then sort of selection transfer thoughts for game week 20. However, got on the computer, just was answering a couple of messages. Happy New Year, Cameron. Hope you're having a great one, mate. Hope you're feeling better than me today. And I thought, oh, sorry, I might as well do one. So I can talk to you about this blue triangle where goals disappear to die. Oh my God, Chelsea are killing me. Not having a bad game week overall, but what the hell has happened to Chelsea? Seriously, since I brought Enzo in, Jackson did a little bit okay for me when I first brought him in, but seriously, these last 3 or 4 matches now, it's just actually really killing my rank. Really is. Palmer's, did okay last week once or twice, but overall for 3 players, a team that had been almost free scoring weeks before, it's just really dried up. Just so little happening there, and the problem I've got is obviously just as these guys have dried up, you've got other midfielders, particularly in that Enzo role, that are just coming through and they're just absolutely murdering me. Rogers again, another big haul. And even Eze came in this week. There's just so many good options there, and unfortunately at the moment I'm on the wrong one. I have to change that sooner rather than later. Problem I have to change that is I would need to take hits because I've only got 0.3 in the bank now. I really want to get Trent in, and I'd really like to get a Forest asset in somewhere. So these are the things that need resolving. I'm actually going to end up finishing on 70 points plus again this week, I suspect, but it could still be a red arrow. That's the nature of the game at the moment. With Salah hauling, you've got to have other players contributing, or doesn't matter how well you're doing, because Salah's points, as lovely as they look on paper, they're not actually doing a huge amount for rank. Points have got to come in from other places. And the sad thing is, I had a lot of points come in from a load of places this week so far, and I've still got 2 players to go. Unfortunately, that little triangle murdered me. Let's have a look. So I wanted to blow that up because I want to try and capture that for the screenshot of my little. It's all I can come up with when I'm hungover. Blue Muda triangle. God, I'm a sick fucker. Give me a second. I'll just see if I can adjust this so we can have a look at the whole team. Alright guys, very dusty this morning. Alright, we'll get that. That. That's got that. And let's see if I can get myself out of the way. I will throw myself over the other side there. That'll do it. Right, let's have a little look. Okay, so let's talk about. I'm not going to classify this as a mistake. It didn't work out for me yet, and we'll only know when I do my strategic worst and the points if it works out as a long-term play. I did bring in Pickford. A number of reasons for that. I needed to free up a little money to get rid of João Pedro and bring in Watkins for my 2-week punt on him, and the only place I felt that was viable was with Raya in goal. I was already a bit concerned about the overexposure on the Arsenal defence, which I don't think looks that rock solid at the moment. They'll grind out clean sheets. I'm happy to go with it. Very happy to go with the double, but I felt get Raya out. So I've spoken about my keeper favourite at the moment was Pickford, with a little bit of interest in Sells as well. I went with Pickford because he will have a double game week coming up, so there won't be a huge amount of upside on that with obviously one of those games against Liverpool, but he might pick a 2-pointer out of it, and then he'll obviously have his own fixture which looks reasonable as well. So it was one of the reasons I went for Pickford. Got me a little bit of money back, enough to get Watkins on a 2-week punt, and also a little look towards the double game week for Liverpool, and maybe just squeezing a couple of extra points out of that. And the simple fact is the way Dykes got the team playing. I know it didn't go so well against Forest. And Sells was my other thought, if I'm being honest. I'd say it was 60% Pickford, 40% Sells. I thought that game had a 0-0 look written all over it. But of course, now Forest, they're good. They're good. It's my biggest mistake of the season, without question, not bringing in a Forest asset. Absolutely, and that does have to be rectified, because they don't look like letting up. They really don't. They're just looking so solid and professional. They're not going to score a ton of goals, but they're not conceding goals. Wood will only have 1 or 2 chances a match, but he'll put one away, and that's what we want. And that whole team is geared towards setting up that 1 chance or 2 chances for Wood. And he's class. He looks like a donkey running around that pitch, but he gets in the positions and he gets that ball in front of goal. He knows where to put it. I thought one of his finishes in the last week or two, I think it was this weekend, it was just such a good finish. It was just calm and cool in front of goal. That's a world-class finish. Might be time for Wood. I told you I was very hungover. It was a big night last night. So listen, Pickford didn't do it for me, but I'm absolutely 100% happy with that as a decision to bring him. I think I can just set and forget on my keeper now, forget about it, and just let Sean Dyche's men do their thing, and hopefully we'll see Pickford get a nice run of clean sheets going for me, and a few save points as well. Double Arsenal defence to come, so it could still, listen, the game week could still be saved. I mean, it looks as though I should hit the 70 points plus. Gabriel's getting a chance every match. Timber gets the odd chance as well. I'll just be happy with the double clean sheet, but if we can get an attacking return in there as well, then it's got, that could still maybe even scrape me a green arrow. Who knows? I think sort of looking at the spacing of the table, I think the double clean sheet will give me a light red, which I'll absolutely take at this point, because I think I've dropped by about 40 or 50 at the moment. But it's so tight. I mean, I'm looking at it. I mean, it's just a few points difference here and there, from massive falls to massive rises. That's where it's at the moment in this game. So Virgil, clean sheet, great, and fantastic. I nearly did do the double hit and brought in Trent though. I want Trent. I'm undergoing severe FOMO at the moment, particularly with United coming up. Do I do it this week though? It would require another hit. My objectives are to hit 70 points a week. I'm going to do that, but at the moment 70 points does not ensure a green arrow. It really doesn't. Not with Salah hauling like he is for everyone. You've got to get those returns around the rest of the team, and sometimes that means you've got to get an 80, 85 to get any sort of a decent green arrow. There will of course still be weeks where Salah doesn't do it, and we'll be back in those we're happy with a 60-point week. But while Salah's bringing in hauls like that, and pretty much every man and his uncle is capturing him, got to get the returns around the team. So in general, the rest of the team, Virgil's come in for me. Even Jota came in for me. I decided just to stick with my mistake, and it was either going to compound the error. But I thought, even if he comes on for 30 minutes, Jota could still get a goal. I thought he would start, in all honesty. I thought he would start, and I think he could have hauled if he'd come on. He looked good when he came on. And it kind of gives me the confidence just to persevere with him for another week, I think, and see does he get the start against United. I really want, a double Liverpool tack against United. I'm terrified. I'm a United fan. I'm absolutely terrified what they're going to do to us. But we're not going to let that compromise our FPL teams. Well, I might as well get something out of it. And I'm going to stick with Jota. He's going to get minutes, and against that United, he may only need minutes to do some damage. We're going to be in relegation trouble after this Liverpool match. Honestly, I feel sorry for Almiron coming in. He really has bought himself a turkey there. I think he knew he'd bought himself a turkey. I just don't think he realised he wouldn't be able to get it in the oven at the moment. It is a huge turkey. So I honestly, if United don't pull out of this slump soon, because after this Liverpool match, I think we've got matches coming up against the likes of Southampton and the relegation teams. They could easily beat us. We could seriously be just a couple of points outside that bottom three in a few weeks' time. My God, what is this? What is this game? What is this game doing to me? The other one I did, of course, I did the Pickford. move, which freed up the funds for Watkins. Looking at that, you think, well, Desmond, that worked out beautifully. Look at it. Look at the 12 points. Genius. You're a genius taking that punt. Of course, bloody João Pedro finally comes in with 9 points. My problem child. And he comes in and yes, I think it was 9 points he got in the end. Yes, I'm actually not unhappy with it. Watkins got the points. João Pedro still in quite a lot of teams played him. That would have actually made a big difference if that had been a really clean Watkins 12 points and the João Pedro 0-pointer again, or 2-pointer again, or appearance points or whatever. I suspect I'd have actually been, but João Pedro was still in a lot of teams this week, and he comes in with bloody 9 points. This game would drive you nuts, wouldn't it? The other one that's stinking things up a wee bit, Jackson. I, again, proven wrong. I thought Jackson would either start because of the way Chelsea collapsed when he was taken off in the game week before this one, when they were leading and he came off and they went on to lose the game and they lost their structure. I thought, well, he'll either start this one, but if he starts, they won't bring him on because they'll be risking him getting his 5th yellow card. And so, of course, Chelsea were stinking up the place without him being on. Admittedly, Palmer could have had 2 goals. He hit the post. There was one fabulous save. But yeah, he came on and got nothing. So that's my Chelsea triangle of doom. I'll come back to that in a second. So Isak got his goal. Could have easily been more. Very easily been more. Thank God, from my United perspective, it wasn't. But we are embarrassing. Don't want to talk about it anymore. We're an absolute embarrassment on the football pitch. How those players are picking up 150, 200, 250k a week. Criminal. Absolutely criminal. Back to the Bermuda Triangle. It is a question. I think I need to get rid of someone this week. I just can't be going on with this. The team doesn't look bad, but here's the thing. I need to start rolling transfers soon. So whatever fixes I do in the next couple of weeks, I do want Trent. I said at the very beginning of the season, and then I had to take him out with some of the other stuff I did, and the injury and stuff like that. I said at the beginning of the season, Trent will be the top scoring midfielder by a long way in Fantasy Premier League this year. And at no point have I changed my mind. It's just it was difficult for me to get back to him. So I went with Virgil, who I thought could run him close. I don't think Virgil's going to get close to him at all now. I do think Virgil's going to do very, very well. He'll pick up a lot of clean sheets, and Virgil will get on the end of a few corners and things, and get himself a few nice big hauls. But Trent's going to blow him out of the water. So I do think, for me anyways, Trent's turned into a must-have, and these things need to happen in the next couple of game weeks. My thoughts are, if I sold Jackson and I strip him down to bench fodder, just a bench fodder type striker, I've got Isak and Watkins up front, and I can go from Watkins to anyone when his nice couple of game weeks have run out. So I can go to any striker, whether that's Woods. I guess I could bring Jackson down to a Woods. It's a thought, just to quickly work out the dollars. But I've got 0.3 in the bank, and that would bring Virgil. That would bring Virgil up to a Trent, and then I could look to do something reasonably serious with Enzo. So it'd be 3 transfers. If I did it all in one go, obviously that's -8 points. Really don't want to do that. I might be prepared to take the -4 this week, because I think it's a strategic worsening of points. Getting Trent in there for that United fixture, there could be big upside, but then I've got him for the long term. It's actually sorted, done, dusted. Then I'll just need 1 transfer to sort out the Enzo situation, and then I think the team actually does look really, really good, because I need to start rolling transfers, and I'll tell you why. In the first 5 game weeks, I had a strategy to be very, very aggressive. One of those aggressive was, to use chips to try and get upside. I think it was in the second game, I think it was. I used my free hit, because at that stage, with understanding the 5 transfer rules, that's fine. I can roll up the 5 transfers, and that's going to really help when chips come along for double game weeks or blanks. This has been proven. It has not been that easy to get 5 chips together. There's as I say, the last one, obviously, when I thought, yeah, that team is set. I had my double Arsenal defence, my double I had my double Arsenal, double Liverpool defence. I had my midfield sorted, and then of course Saka got injured, and I was ready to roll. That was, as you recall, that was my strategy. Of course, the Saka injury blew that whole strategy. The Saka injury blew that strategy, boom, out of the water. Which is why I'm in this like little bit of a quandary at the moment, trying to get things almost reset. But rolling transfers, as I say, I did it, and so I did a very, very early free hit. It looked fantastic on paper. I had 11 amazing home fixtures with great players playing against weak teams, and I got a good score. I think it was about 80, 85. Yay! Unfortunately, my normal team, the team I'd had for game week 1, said, yeah, what's game week 2? I did the free hit. Actually did better. In fact, that team, it would still be rolling very, very nicely. So that is the problem I have now. Yeah, took the chance, took the gamble, didn't work, but I wasn't worried because of the rolling transfers of 5. So I need to get to game week 29 because we don't know, that is going to take so many players out, particularly with the Liverpool, Chelsea assets as well, etc. And Arsenal. These are the teams that are going to make it to the Carabao Cup final. So I'm going to need 5 free transfers going into 29 to make sure I've got a decent team going out, and then dead end into that, and then wild card out. So that is turning into almost, but not quite top of mind. But any transfers I make now are going to sort of be critical to that. I need to make sure I get this team locked down, by 22, 23. And that's going to be upon us before we know it. So the transfers I've got in mind: Jackson out, stripped down to nothing, bring Trent in, and sort out this little midfield dilemma with the Enzo, so I can get that up to, I think, a Gordon. I ain't going to do that with 3 hits, 2 hits. I might take the second one because of my Trent FOMO against United. But of course, Sod's Law means Virgil will come up on 2 corners and bang in 2 goals of Trent Alexander corner kicks right onto his noggin and in the back of that United net, because we cannot defend set pieces. We are shocking. Every week we concede from a set piece. So again, this sets this up. Virgil or Trent take the -4, fix the issue, take advantage of the situation, and then I'm almost but not quite set to get rolling, because from there the team does look magnificent, on a week by week basis, with that defence. As I said, one of my regrets is not bringing in a Forest asset, but I think what I've actually already got my equivalent of a Forest asset that keeps hauling, and he's on my bench, and I keep not bloody playing him. Hall. He's any of those Forest assets that I'm jealous of at the moment. I've actually had my equivalent in Hall, who's been just returning week after week after week. Unfortunately, I keep going with me double Arsenal and Liverpool, which is starting to bring me in points now, and are reasonably steady, particularly if the Arsenal boys return tomorrow. It's the proverbial jigsaw, isn't it? So Gabriel is literally getting goal scoring opportunities every match. Timber's shown he's capable of getting a goal or an assist as well. So I think this is the one where I do have to show faith and a little bit of patience that defence will, over the course of the season, score more than the Forest boys. It doesn't mean I'm not going to look for an Aina. I think if anyone was going to go, it could well be Konza, and I could easily swap him out at some point, for an Aina. There's some really good options there. Murillo got injured though, didn't he? This is a thing now to look at. Yeah, Murillo picked up an injury. He was a key cog in that Forest defence. Is that going to affect their defensive performance going forward? Be interesting one to keep an eye on. I think they've got enough cover there, enough good players. But Murillo was actually a pretty key cog in that defensive cohesion and the way it operated. Worth keeping an eye on there. But overall, as I say, I do think if I sort out the Enzo situation, get Gordon in, just bring Jackson down, Watkins can turn into a Wood or a something, potentially a Haaland, I guess, further down the line, because I've got a decent high price point there to work out a way to get to Haaland. Really not top of mind at the moment. But I think those 3 transfers just sorts out the issues that have arisen from the Saka injury and a couple of the mistakes I've made. And we'll sort of just see where it goes from there. So it's very, very waffly, guys. I do apologise. Just a quick look at the bench though, as it went. Nothing to see there. Ahmad blanked again. United are awful. I'll probably keep Ahmad. I think Enzo will go, and I'll keep Ahmad as a sort of my attacking bench player, because I do think he's still capable of goals. Maybe, and United do have a fixture turn, so even United, surely we can get something against you, Southampton's, etc. Yeah, Hall's going nowhere. I mean, he's actually my highest scoring defender. I think we'll have a look at the spreadsheet later in the week when the final games are done. And Konza could well turn into a Forest asset at some point, particularly if I've stripped Jackson down. Now that we're coming out of this game every couple of days, so I can strip Jackson down and just have Ahmad and Konza, or a Forest asset instead of Konza, that can rotate around for appropriate fixtures. That's it. We could have a quick little look at how this might look next week. See how that's come up. If I wasn't to take a hit, sorry, I was saying I was going to go, but we might get this out of the way. If I wasn't to take a hit, that is likely how I will line up. Let's make sure you guys can see that. Move it away a wee bit again. And it doesn't look too bad, does it? And it really is just that question is just at the moment I just have no faith in Chelsea whatsoever. I'm obviously going to a 4-3-3, which I don't think anyone ideally likes. But Villa, home to Leicester, it's not bad. I think with Arsenal they can keep a clean sheet against anyone, and Liverpool have got United, and not a bad fixture for Everton. So there could be big points out of that defence. The question really does become, do I get the points out of the front, boys? And I think Watkins, Leicester at home, you've got to fancy he's going to get a return in that. I would hope for a haul, but we shall see. Isak, Spurs away. Spurs are looking woeful. Jackson could be the return to form, and if I did sell him, down to bench fodder and took hits to do things, it's just going to be typical. Jackson's going to come in with a mega haul, and I'm just going to be going, oh no, not again. And then Palmer's Palmer. Listen, I'm not overly worried about him. He could have easily had 2 goals and an assist in that last match. Just didn't quite go his way. One superb save, and obviously he hit the woodwork. Doesn't actually look that bad. That team could go out and get me a big score. And of course, if I do transfers and take a hit, strategic worsening point, really could work against me. So that's what I'm thinking on. That is what I'm thinking on. I'm going to leave it at that. Thank you for bearing with that waffle. We shall wait until the Arsenal-Brentford match is over. Hopefully I'll get a couple of clean sheets out of that and a Gabriel or a Timber goal. It would really change the complexion of the game week. Can't believe I'm saying that when I'm going to end up in about 70 points. But at the moment, it is not a good week. It's not an awful week, but it is not a good week. So I could really do with something from those Arsenal boys. And then and I think that's going to drive some of my decisions, how that actually does finish up. I think once I know the where I've actually ended up, it might drive some of my decisions in terms of, do I do the transfers or do I just roll? Let's see how it goes. Listen, folks, I would imagine some of you are doing fantastically well. I know one person that is going to be knocking on that top 100k soon. So congratulations on that. But I'm sure a lot of you are doing really well as well. Leave a like, leave a comment. Sorry about the waffle. Let me know if you've got any thoughts around any of my thoughts. Always good to get you guys' opinion. Let's crack on and hope we have a strong finish to the week. I will touch base in about 48 hours time. But for now, it is more sleep time for me, I think. Take care, guys. Happy New Year.